What up, 6 Degrees? Coming to you live via our 6 Degrees satellite news feed live from Philadelphia. I'm Chef Dog Millionaire talking about week 2. This is episode 20.2. I got a great show for you today. We're going to talk about where I was right, where I was wrong. Overreactions to week 1, stats and waiver wires. Last week's review, this week's preview. Not to mention, I got some billion-dollar awards. I got a lot of stuff to talk about, so let's get right into it. No time to waste. All right, let's get into last week matchups where Michael was right, where Michael was wrong. Here we go. Roll it.
Wrong.
That's right, I was wrong in this one. Chili Beans, my brother, takes me down. I barely get over 90 points. Chili Beans knocking 130. Look at that. You had Ryan, you had Ridley, you had Zeke getting 88 points. Them 3 players nearly beat my team on their own. I had no matchup. What a tough loss by my team. I go into the bottom half. He goes into the top half. Next.
Wrong.
That's right. Rocky's Red Rockets gets dropped by Show Me Your TDs. Boy, Kevin's team knows firsthand right now that we do not want kickers in this league. Abolish the kicker. Meanwhile, on Alex's team, Jacobs, his only bright spot on his team, gets him 36 points and just pushes his way to a victory. Great job on Alex's team. Takes the cake. You're in the top half. Kev, you're in the bottom half. Moving on.
Right.
That's right. First win by the hair of my chin. I took WDIB, and they were trying to lose that game. Look at that Minnesota defense that she took in the 13th round. -2 points, but it did not matter. Kelsey gets Devontae Adams on another 46-point game, gets the victory that she needs, and that puts Momo Team Sherry, which is to be determined. Sherry, please change your team name. That puts her in the bottom half. Kelsey, that puts you in the top half. Moving on.
Wrong.
Oh, what a snooze fest of the game. Wrong here. Thought I had the goats. It took it was Lynchburg Lynx in this one. Not a lot to talk about when it comes to this one. Zach's team belongs in a kiddie league. Jason's team barely gets the win. Matched up perfectly to who he wanted to get. Look at that right there. Great win by Jason. That's a bad performance by Zach. Moving on. Next.
Right.
I told you Hans Laudo provided exactly what I was expecting. Wilson, Kamara, D. Fuller, all getting over 20 points apiece. Baker Mayfield sucked, and it was a Ravens defense that was on Andy's team that took him down. Rob just couldn't find an RB2 that he was looking for. He had a broken bell. Bell gets hurt. He goes on the IR. He doesn't have a bell. He's not saved by the bell. There is no bell. I was right there. Hans Yolo gets the win. Next.
Wrong.
Well, when you put up bulletin board material like I did against Frog's team, this is what you expect to happen. He gets the W. Andrews, his tight end that he took in the 3rd round, gets him 23 points. Massive amount of points that he needs there. That's a key player. On the other side, on Dayman's team, Danny's, unfortunately, he could not get any points out of Mark Ingram. Both playing for the Ravens. No points coming to Ingram's side. The lack of points by Ingram, the over points that you've seen from Andrews, that was the key matchup right there. Danny takes a loss. Frog's team takes a win, puts you in that top half. Moving on.
Wrong.
I told you this matchup wasn't going to disappoint. Tracy's team and Mark's team were just putting up points after points after points. D-Hop, Julio, Mozart. Mark's team was on fire. There was no stopping him. And just stumbling was Tracy's team. Cooper Kupp just getting 8 points when he should have got 18, when he should have got 20. I told you this was a matchup of the week, and you had 2 top teams going right at it. Mark gets the win. Tracy gets the loss. That's your review. All right, let's get into waiver claims. These things are hot off the press. Let's talk about them right now. Coming in, top pick, that's Paris Campbell, wide receiver out of Indianapolis. Mark's team spends $37. That's a wide receiver 4 on your team, big guy. That's a lot of money. He beats out 6 other people for that one. Frog's team, he goes after Corey Davis, wide receiver after Tennessee, $17. 5 total bids in that one. Good win there by Frog's team. Alex goes after Russell Gage. He drops $14 on that one. 3 total bids. That's a wide receiver out of Atlanta. Political Rob goes after Myles Gaskin. He's looking for an RB, that Political Rob team. That's out of Miami. He drops $14. 2 total bids. Momo goes after Marquise Valdez-Scantling. 9 total dollars. Wide receiver out of Green Bay. 3 total bids. Good win there by Momo. Follow that up. Momo goes after Josh Adams. That's a halfback out of the New York Jets. With Lev Bell going down, all these other halfbacks are coming up. That was uncontested. $9 uncontested. Mark gets Logan Thomas, tight end out of Washington. $5 spent, 2 total bids. Great job there, Mark. Alex gets Arizona Cardinals defense. He spends $5. Nice homer pick by Alex. Good win. Political Rob goes after Kalen Ballage, just signed by the Jets. He drops $4. That is uncontested. Alex gets Carlos Hyde. I'd trade you Hopkins for him. That's $3 right there. Uncontested. That's a halfback for Seattle. Kevin goes after LaMichael Perrine. That's a halfback out of the Jets. $0 spent. We all know what's going on with the Jets halfback situation. Kevin also gets Laviska Chanel, wide receiver out of Jacksonville. He spent $0 on that one. And let's follow it up with Tampa Bay defense taken by Kamish Kev. Homer pick, no dollars spent. And those are your waiver claims. All right, guys. So we got a special segment right here. It's called Overreaction or Not. And I got a special guest for you. Manager of Show Me Your TDs will be taking it away for us. Now, we don't have a lot of time, Alex, so you go for it.
Hey, thanks, Sheffy. All right, guys, I got a lot to cover in a little bit of time, so I'm going to go quick, so bear with me. Aaron Rodgers, 33 points, quarterback number 1 after week 1. Is he a top 5 quarterback? Yes, he is. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to return to his old form. Last year was a fluke. This year, he's pissed. Packers took another quarterback with their first-round draft pick. I think he's on a redemption tour. He's going to do everything he can to make the Packers regret that decision. All right, so then we got Josh Jacobs, RB1. He's got 35 points. Is he a top 5 running back? Yes, he is. I love Jacobs' position, hence why I drafted him. I think he's the best weapon on the Raiders. Gruden wants to prove to everyone that he should have won Rookie of the Year. I think Ruggs only helps Jacobs by loosening up the defense, making some lanes for Jacobs to be able to run through. And I consider Jacobs the same tier as Barkley, Cook, and Elliott. So I think he'll finish as a top 5 running back. Devontae Adams, 42 points. Is he the wide receiver or the top wide receiver in the league? And I'm saying yes, he is. I think Michael Thomas was his main competition. Now that Michael Thomas is hurt, going to miss a couple weeks, I think that opens the door for Devontae Adams. I told you I'm a believer in Aaron Rodgers. I think Devontae Adams is going to benefit from this. The only competition he's going to get is Hopkins, and I love Hopkins too. But you know, I see Devontae Adams finishing ahead of Hopkins by the end of the year. Another wide receiver, Calvin Ridley, scored 34 points, second best wide receiver performance last week. So is he a top 10 wide receiver by the end of the year? No, he is not going to be. The Falcons have too many weapons on their team. I don't think it's going to be enough for Ridley. Although the first week, all 3 wide receivers got a lot of points, but not every game is going to be like that. It was a fluke week 1. Calvin Ridley benefited from the touchdowns. I just don't. I think there's too many good wide receivers. Ridley's not going to finish as the top 10 wide receiver in the league. We got Dallas Goedert, tight end number 1, scored 25 points. Is he going to be a top 5 tight end by the end of the year? And I'm saying no, he's not. There's still Ertz on the team. Goddard may finish ahead of Ertz, but there's going to be some weeks where Ertz scores more points, some weeks where Goddard does. I don't think it's simply Goddard passing Ertz is the best tight end on the team. I think they're going to be splitting. I think they're both going to have good years, but not top 5 tight end years. Next, reacting to Paris Campbell. Mark spending $37 on Paris Campbell. Is it worth it? Yes, I think it is. Paris Campbell is going to have a good year. Everyone knows wide receivers break out in their second year. Paris Campbell had a terrible quarterback throwing him to last year. Phillip Rivers is not great, but he's better than what Campbell had last year throwing to him. And I think it's going to work out. And even though Mark's team is stacked and he's not going to be using Paris Campbell right away, Mark has one weakness on his team in tight end. So I think by getting Campbell, this allows Mark to make a trade to go get a tight end and plug that hole up. And then he's got Campbell as that depth wide receiver if he needs it. All right, and now for the duds. What do we got? Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb scored 5 points. Is it time to panic with Nick Chubb? Yes, it is. The reason why, Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt outrushed Nick Chubb, and that's a bad sign. We all knew Kareem Hunt was going to get some work, but I didn't expect him to have more rushing attempts. And now that that's happening, Chubb is a great runner, but PPR-wise, he doesn't catch a lot of balls, so he needs volume to make it worth it for your team. So he's not going to be generating as much value as a lot of hoped for this year. So yes, time to panic for Nick Chubb. Michael Thomas only scored 4 points. He only had 3 catches for 17 yards. This was a shocker. And on top of that, he got injured at the end of the game, high ankle sprain. And those are one of the worst injuries because he's expected to miss a couple of weeks, but everyone knows with high ankle sprains that you're not the same player afterwards. And I don't see Michael Thomas having the same year that we're conditioned to seeing from him. So is it time to panic with Michael Thomas? Yes. It'll be interesting to see if Jason can trade him, find a sucker to trade him to, or is he just going to suck it up and hope salvage some points from him when Michael Thomas comes back? We'll see, but he's not going to have a great year this year. James Conner, 3 points, 6 rushes, 9 yards. He left the game early because of the ankle injury, and this is typical of James Conner getting injured. And on top of that, Benny Snell came in, had a great game, and this is going to hurt Conner's stock. Not only has he got a reputation for being injured, and he gets injured week 1, but now Snell looked really good. So I think best case scenario, James Conner comes back healthy, and it's going to be a timeshare, and Snell is going to be getting a lot of carries. I think worst case scenario, Conner's off and on injured throughout the year. So this is not good for James Conner owners. Yes, it's time to panic. And last we get DJ Moore, 9 points. Is it time to panic? No, I don't think so. I think DJ Moore is going to be just fine. He still had 9 targets. He was targeted a lot. Still building chemistry with his new quarterback, Bridgewater. Bridgewater looked pretty good this game. I like the situation with the Panthers defense is going to be bad this year. They're going to be throwing a lot, and I like DJ Moore to rebound. And lastly, actually, this is the last thing. We got to talk about the last place team in our league, which is Zach's team. They only scored 84 points. So yes, I think it's time for Zach to panic. His team really is that bad. He can only hang his hat on Mahomes and Clyde, but the rest of his team looks terrible. I don't see any silver lining in any of his players. I expect him to finish dead last in the league again. And that's all I got, Chef. Now back to you.
Thanks, Alex. Really appreciate your input there. And I can really agree with you. Zach and his last place team, he'll be there all year. So that's overreaction or not, really appreciate it. All right, guys, let's get into our week 2 matchups. Here we go. I was 2-5 last week. Nothing too great, nothing too spectacular. I'm looking to turn that around right now. And last week we had no winners. I had $10 on the line. Andy didn't win. Chris didn't win. Zach didn't win. Alex didn't win. Tracy didn't win. Kelsey didn't win. Kev didn't win. Not everybody picked. I'm handing out free $10 here. Anyway, that $10 is going to roll into next week or this week. So look at that. We got $20 on the table if you can pick the right winners from our fantasy matchup. So let's get into these matchups right now. This is what I got. I got Sinsaman versus the Goats. What a toss-up, right? 2 teams that really struggled in week 1. You combine their score, and they barely beat the top point getter mark from last week. So this isn't looking too great. Not many people are going to tune in for it. You got Mahomes and Clyde versus Hill, Beckham, and Brown. I like the wide receivers on my team. Obviously, I'm going to pick my team to win this one. But currently, both teams are looking at this one, and they're going, this is an easy win on to week 3. So we're going to see who gets it. Next matchup, we got Rockies Red Rocket versus Team To Be Determined 2. That's Frog's team. Please update your team name. It's Jackson versus Murray, right? It is Moore versus Lockett. We got some solid positional matchups right now, and I think it's just going to be coming down to who actually performs. That's all it's going to come down to. I know that's any fantasy league, but that's what it's going to come down to on this one. Kev still doesn't have a kicker or a defense, so he's going to plug those in. We're going to see what happens. But believe it's going to come down to who's going to have the most well-rounded performance. And when you're looking at the players on one side versus the other, the consistency between the two, I like Frog's team in this one. I'm taking Frog to take down Rocky's Red Rocket. R.I.P. Big Dog. Next matchup, we got Women Do It Better versus the Lynchburg Lynx. A couple of winners from last team squaring off, but you wouldn't look like that looking at the paper. Jason, a little bit worse for wear. He came with barely scoring over 88 points, and he's going against a team that had a really, really solid performance on her side. So I'm going to take WDIB. This is my lock of the week, no doubt about it. Kelsey's team beats Jason's team. Put the house on it. There you go, lock of the week. I just like the performance coming from WDIB's side. So we got Show Me Your TDs versus Saved by the Bell. Both teams with question marks. Alex is actively looking to improve his roster right now. He's sending out trades one after another, trying to see if he can bring in some more talent on his team, because outside Jacobs, who's playing on Monday night, he doesn't have much on that team. Doesn't have much at all. He's scrap heaping the old waiver wire, and he was 3 for 8 this time through this week. So I believe I'm going to take Rob in this one. That Monday night game, although Alex is going to come up close, he is going to fall short on that Monday night game. So I like Saved by the Bell in this one. Next matchup, we got Hans Yolo versus Lemon Cookie. This is another battle. Lemon Cookie coming off a tough matchup last week against the number 1 points getter. Now she's got to go against the number 2 points getter. Flip of the coin. I flipped it. It was heads. I'm taking Hans Yolo in this one. Not only am I taking Hans Yolo, but he's going to have a high amount of points. He will end up being number 1 overall team at the end of this week. Tiebreaker points for. Good job, Hans Yolo. You're going to get that win. Next matchup. MAGA, Make America Gronk again against Team To Be Determined 1. That is going to be Sherry's team. Please update your team name. All right, so on one side, we got MAGA coming off a huge victory, right? That was a big-time points. Great job. And on the other side, we got Momo just losing on a nail-biter. Who's going to come in and who's going to produce? Looking at the players, looking at the projections, I got Momo in this one. I don't think that's Mark's team. I think that's a fluke team. I think Mark just got lucky with some week 1 matchups. Hell, it's like preseason week 3 out there, right? These starters didn't even know they were going to play more than 3 quarters anyway. So Mark's team capitalizes. He gets the win. Not this week. Momo's coming down. She's going to take the win. Thursday night's game, they both got RBs going. It's going to set the tone. We're going to see what happens there. And this, in my game of the week, I got Danny's team versus Chris's team. Matt Ryan and Calvin Ridley versus Todd Gurley and Julio Jones. They all play for Atlanta, right? What's going to happen? Okay, Chris has Matt Ryan. Chris has Calvin Ridley. And then you got Todd Gurley and Julio Jones on Danny's team. What's going to happen? I have no clue. Not only that, you got Zeke, who's on Chris's team, also playing in Atlanta. That's 5 total players just in that game alone. That is a big game. Their eyes are going to be glued to it. And then you got Henry going against Jacksonville. We got some crazy big-time matchups here, and that's why this is game of the week. It's going to be fun to watch. I want you guys to pay attention to this one, but I'm going to say it. Here we go. Hand me some crackers and cheese. I'm taking chili in this one. Those are your week 2 picks. Put in your picks. All right, guys, let's get into your $1 billion awards. These are my awards, not no cheap-ass sleeper picks. Here we go. Our Week Sauce Award, that's going to go to Zach. 84.06 points scored. Great job, Zach. That's Week Sauce. Macho Taco Award. Macho Taco, that's going to Mark. 162.76 points scored. Great job, Mark. Most points scored. Macho Taco. You're Going the Wrong Way Award. That's going to Kelsey's team. -2 points on a defense. That's the last thing you want, is to be losing points on a defense. This ain't fantasy baseball. Dude, where's my RBs at award? That's going to Kev. 23.5 points from 3 RBs that he started. Ew, yikes. That's not even 8 points apiece. And then the last award, do you even lift, bro? That's going to Dan's team. 32.2 points. That's Darius Slayton sitting on the bench. That's a tough pill to swallow. He took the loss in that one. Those are my Week 1 awards. Hey guys, this is my Week 1 podcast. I really hope you enjoyed it. I tried to put some different things together. hopefully we can keep up the production. We can keep these going throughout the week. I really appreciate all the special guests that are coming in. So I just want to say good luck, no injuries. We got the US FFL Cup seeding game still happening. After this week, we'll do some group drawing, and we'll see how it goes. So, again, really appreciate you guys tuning in. See you next week.